Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or much good depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos, news updates. Emulate the courage of your colleagues on the panel of the Court of Appeal that discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB tells Supreme Court of Nigeria. Now, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has called on the Supreme Court of Nigeria to emulate the courage of their colleagues at the appellate court that discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB said Supreme Court has the opportunity to write their names in gold, and they should stop the executive rascality. Yes, don't be a tool in the hands of the executive arm of the government. Don't be a rubber stamp in their hands. That's what IPOB is telling the Supreme Court. Say, look, this will not augur well for the country before the international community. Save Nigeria this embarrassment, Supreme Court. Save Nigeria this embarrassment. That's what IPOB is telling them. In a statement, IPOB released, quote, "We, the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, heavily led by the great prophet and indefatigable liberator, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, once again reiterate that the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from DSS solitary confinement will restore peace in the southeast and by extension to Nigeria nation. The absence of our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu due to his kidnapping in Kenya by the Nigerian government gave rise to the insecurity and criminality in Biafra land today because Biafrans love him. Some sponsored criminals go about kidnapping for ransom and snatching cars from unsuspecting persons in the name of demanding for the release of Kanu. His release will stop all of that. If indeed the Supreme Court justices are interested in saving Nigeria and the people of the Eastern region, they should uphold international and local laws and free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Kidnapping and extraordinary rendition of an accused person is a grievous offense according to international laws. We are patiently waiting to see if the Supreme Court of Nigeria as the Constitutional Court will legalize the international crime of extraordinary rendition or deliver justice. More so, we want to see if the justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria will go against the UN Charter on People's Right to Self-Determination, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents by agitating for Biafra freedom. The world leaders must preserve Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he is going to allow them to have a stake in the Biafra nation if they allow Biafra to become an independent state. The Supreme Court justices have the opportunity to write their names in gold as men of honor by releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has not committed any crime against any local or international laws. The justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria should stop the executive arm's rascality that has so far been exhibited in this case. They should instead emulate the courage of their colleagues on the panel of the Court of Appeal that ordered our leader discharged and acquitted unconditionally and barring any further trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in any court. The Nigerian executive branch has bastardized constitutional order which has eroded Nigeria's integrity and influence in Africa and internationally. The Supreme Court has a role to play in buying back that battered image of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by not succumbing to the executive threats and intimidation in delivering justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case has put the Nigerian judiciary on trial and has now put their Supreme Court on trial. End of quote. Now, this is it. IPOB have said it all here. They are on trial, Supreme Court, all eyes on you. Though we have seen the one you did with the judgment of the charade they conducted on 25th February. But this one is a different case altogether. This one is a different case altogether. This one is the international community knows what is obtainable in this particular case. And a court of competent jurisdiction, appellate court, have made a judgment to it, discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So it's a different case altogether. It's not the same as the one they did last time when they said all eyes on the judiciary. That one is a different case altogether. There's no link with this one. The distance is too much. We are talking about these international laws. When you talk about those charades, you're talking about what is obtainable in a given country. the biased umpire, what they did that place. We told them that time, but they refused. But this case is an international issue. United Nations Working Rights on Human Rights and Abuse of Detention have said it. The working group, they have said it. Point blank. They blame government of Kenya and Nigeria. So, and they've said what they said, and all of us are aware of it. And what about the appellate court that have decided acquitted? So, the Supreme Court, they have the burden. The onus is on them to rescue Nigeria. It's a test case. It's a litmus test, if you like, for this judiciary and Nigeria. The international community is watching them. Someone who has committed no offense known to international law. You went to Kenya, no offense committed. You went to Kenya and you abducted him there, extradited rendition him. So you committed a crime. It has been well stated. Extradited rendition is a crime. Even if that person is an accused person, he's still accused. He's still innocent until proven otherwise. So you extradited renditioning him. You are committing a grievous offense. And that's what Nigerian government and Kenyan government have committed. And we expect the Supreme Court to say it there. Like the appeal court have said it. Said, look, government of Nigeria, you have no right to go to Kenya. Even Kenyan government, you have no right to collaborate with Nigerian government to abduct somebody. Though you accused him, you have no right to abduct him. You don't abduct, you don't extradite rendition. There are protocols to follow. Even if you want to bring the person back, you follow. There are certain laid-down rules internationally. You must follow it. But the UN said it. The appeal court said it. Supreme Court, are you going to differ? We are watching you. So that's what IPB says. IPB says, Supreme Court, we are gazing at you. You must do the right thing at this time. Okay? Don't shell these people. Don't endorse their rascality. Those who say they are leading Nigeria. Don't endorse it. Write your name in God. It's your posterity we are talking about. Your children, your name in future. You have to preserve it. That's what IPB is saying. And that is it. So, if they like, they want to turn Nigeria into chaos and anarchy, it's within their ambit to do that. If we want to restore peace and tranquility to Nigeria, and the Southeast zone, of course, where we have, like IPB have said, there are some certain elements, that have been sponsoring groups, individuals, to come to Southeast and cause trouble and commotion everywhere, and said, it's IPOB, it's Biafra agitators. Because once they finish it, they say, well, this man can. We know all the evil tactics of DSS. Yes, we know all the evil tactics of DSS. We know it. They attack citizens, civilians. They attack civilians. The unseen hands fighting for Biafrans, they will not attack civilians. They will attack the enemies of civilians, enemies of the Biafrans, those who are suffocating Biafrans, those who are killing Biafrans, doing extrajudicial killings, those who are doing forceful disappearances. When people did nothing wrong to them, you see, these unseen hands, unseen forces, they are going after them, to liberate the Biafrans. But these people that we are sponsored, they will go to civilian areas, they will kill them, and they will say, Masnan can release him. We know that Aka and Wabata go there. Yes, that is it. So Supreme Court, you have an ample opportunity.